green square. And red circle. Pow. What's up, guys? Why? Why are you laughing?
Why'd you do
John Cena? I don't know. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Cemetery Mary stream. I guess. Okay, so we're on the true ending route. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to learn exactly what's going on. But there's still a lot that we don't know. But I believe I want to call him our uncle, but he's not our uncle, is going to hopefully fill in more blanks we continue to walk.
Mary calls him her uncle, so...
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
She said Uncle Cross.
Is that what he's called? Uncle Cross?
Yeah.
Okay. Then cool. Because he does seem like our uncle. Every single time I see him, I'm like, oh, he's our uncle. He just looks like our uncle.
I know, he does. But
yeah. Alright, here we go. Boop.
Yeah, it's so loud.
Right. Okay. So, our uncle was involved in the Congress. One of two gangs that existed in, I think it's called Highland City? Holland City? Our mom knew.
I think there's an N in the middle.
Your father knew too, but they were never involved in any of it. Until recently.
Gosh, the sound quality is garbage. It's the AC.
Do you want to turn it off?
I don't know.
We can turn it off if you want.
But then it'll get super hot.
This is true. Which one are we sacrificing? The cool...
it's also echoey, and I don't know why.
Yeah, we're figuring stuff out. Just bear with us.
Well, here, let me turn this off, and then let's see.
Listen to the smooth jazz while we wait.
Okay, try talking.
Hi. You like this smooth jazz? 'Cause I do. Smooth and jazzy.
No, it's still the same. It's weird. I don't know why.
Nothing we can do about it now.
I haven't moved anything.
No.
Ow.
We haven't moved anything. The mic is still the same. I mean, the area in which we are filming is still the same. Odd. We'll figure it out. Anyway. Huh?
I need to switch head?
No, you're fine.
Because otherwise I'll just keep hearing us. And it'll throw me off. Let me explain. After the Congress had complete control of Holland City, your uncle and aunt and parents lived there peacefully. More or less. For a while. But your mother had wanted to open her own restaurant, Die-ner, eating establishment. And the perfect location she was looking for was in Blackwood. Your uncle and aunt begged her not to make the move. They were scared of the Parliament potentially targeting her, even if she was never involved in their business.
Right, because the Parliament retreated into Blackwood, right?
Yeah. Did you see what I titled this stream?
No, what is it?
Go over and scroll up.
Family business. That's a good choice. Is the thing on her head that she wears a headband?
It's like a scarf.
Or is it covering, like, ears? Because it almost looks like it's covering ears, but I don't think so.
Or what do you call it? Shawl type thing?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like what the Dutch wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's also immune, so it could be covering some sort of damage to her throat.
Maybe.
But if she wanted that restaurant, it was her only option. Not to mention, she was expecting a child.
Us?
And well, believe it or not, back in the day, Blackwood used to be a lot cleaner than Holland City was. Even with the Parliament there. Tables certainly turn, don't they?
Aww.
So, despite their warning, your parents moved to Blackwood to start their restaurant. And, well, their family.
Look at how happy they are. Look, there's a little tiny, hair thing right there. I guess they can't see my mouse, but...
I've said before.
It's fine. We
can turn on the mouse.
It's fine.
Your aunt and uncle were still worried, but you guys actually seemed pretty safe. And we didn't really have any reason to worry. They even felt comfortable visiting you guys from time to time. They even joked about how the Parliament may not even exist anymore. Is that who Twyla's people are going to be?
Ooh, maybe.
Especially since a group of owls is called a Parliament.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is also funny.
Why?
Because if you have a group of owls, it's a Parliament. How fancy.
Let's get back down to business. Hoot hoot.
To order. How do you not know that? You love owls.
I know. I just didn't know. I know that crows are called a murder. Because that's cool. Anyway.
But they showed us that they were still alive and kicking soon enough. A few years ago is when things really began to spark again. We received reports of gang activity beginning to pick... Whoa. I am loud. Good thing I checked. I was like,
Oh, were you reading too loud or something?
I don't know. I was super loud.
I know nothing we can really do about it though, so.
I don't get what's going on with other stuff. We received reports of the gang activity beginning to pick up in Blackwood. See, I was worried I was too quiet because I'm doing my super deep voice.
Oh. The audience is like, no. That's not a concern.
That alone may have concerned us much, but then we started getting reports of an enemy gang members parading themselves around Holland City, calling themselves the Parliament. That really made our sirens go off. And then, out of almost nowhere, your aunt and uncle's home was broken into. They were unsure if it was related, but, well, it's not like they were going to take their chances. They shortly ended up moving into a safe house of theirs, you could call it. Even though it was closer to Blackwood than it was to Holland City, it seemed like the safest bet.
Wait, the cabin? The cabin in the woods? The one that you picked me up from?
That's right.
I had always wondered why they moved there. They were always such... they always had such a nice house in Holland City. I never understood why they'd moved to such a cramped little space in the woods.
They lived there quietly for a few years. But, well, you know that.
Yeah. I was happy Crowan was so much closer than before, but I didn't know this was why.
Things only started to go really wrong quite recently. Your aunt and uncle, they came in contact with the head of the parliament. This head figure had promised to meet them to discuss a sort of treaty or truce. Some deal or arrangement. Told them that they'd meet somewhere public, so there was no worry of anything insidious. And after a while, they finally agreed to meet them. But, well, you know that went... Ooh, that went south.
So they were murdered by the rival gang?
So this is the thing, right? Is that they died in a car accident, but our uncle was mutilated, and our aunt looked as if she died just in her sleep or something. You know, she not a scratch on her.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so I'm wondering, because we know there are three groups, basically. Well, not three groups, but three.
Right?
There are two groups and then a third person.
Right. The murderer, the butcher.
Most likely, you know.
So theoretically
Reggie.
speaking, we have Crowan.
And so I'm wondering if they didn't necessarily
get killed by
the parliament, but got killed by the
Reggie.
murder.
So Crowan, Congress, Twyla, Parliament, most likely. And then Reginald, the Blackwood Butcher. Probably. Interesting. So many layers! This is so good. Okay.
But maybe it's getting it. I don't know.
I would imagine it's kind of difficult to know.
It seems very convenient they would die. It would be weird, in my opinion, for the parliament, even if you're saying that it looks like they make it look like an accident, it's clearly not an accident if one body is mutilated and the other is not.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It was a car accident. Are you sure? Because it doesn't look like it.
And that more or less covers most of it.
I see.
Are you alright?
Well, I just found out my family members are gang members. And my boyfriend, kind of boyfriend, not boyfriend, may or may not have murdered. She doesn't know that. Yeah. It's just a lot to take in.
I can imagine. If there's anything you need elaborated, I will try to explain it to the best of my ability.
If any... Okay, wait. I was going to say, if anyone watching kind of understands, like, mafia families, I just find mafia families fascinating. Because they're criminals, but they're, like, fancy criminals.
They're organized crime.
It's just fascinating to me. Anyway. Just so interesting. Thank you. Well, I guess I do have one question.
Yes.
Who are you?
Oh. I apologize. I didn't realize I've never introduced myself.
Okay, so we don't know his name.
I said...
Uh...
I am Ovidius.
Ovidius? That sounds like a stone.
Ovidius. Ovidius is what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Oh, like Odysseus?
I mean, in the fact that they end in Eos.
Oh, and they have O's. Ovidius. Odysseus. Same thing.
Not at all close.
I'm staying in my brain.
Right, because that's a V, not a U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is what the U's look like. Yeah.
I was like the first lieutenant, you could say. The right-hand man to your uncle. Or, well, the right-hand man to Crowan now.
So Crowan automatically took over? It's like a monarch? The young master.
Is Congress another term for a group of crows? I just thought of, I think.
Oh, because Crowan?
Well, also their last name is Corvidson, which crows and ravens are corvids.
Well, then is it Ravens then?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Congress of Ravens?
Maybe.
And
You could Google it. I don't know. We'll Google it after. Dustin's like, I have my phone right now.
I mean, we can keep going.
Crowan's involved with this all too, right? Yes.
Unfortunately, yes. He's always known. We just didn't expect him to inherit the Congress like this. At least, not yet.
So it was a young master situation. Fascinating. And Crowan, he ran off?
Yes. He believed we were being followed by the Parliament. Claimed a car that quickly drove past us after the crash must have belonged to them. And he ran after it.
Alone?
I don't know what he thinks that will help, but I couldn't go after him. My priority was watching out for you.
Which I get, but then at the same time, I'm like, if he's the leader of the group, I feel like you should be watching over him. I mean, I know he ordered him to look after me, so I guess... I don't know.
A group of crows and a group of ravens can also be called a congress.
Cool. I thought it was murder.
It is a murder of crows, but you can also call it a congress.
That's interesting, that it's interchangeable. Have you been in contact with him at all?
No. As I said, my priority was taking care of you.
Maybe I should try messaging him. After everything you've just told me, I don't feel comfortable knowing he's on his own out there. Oh, you should give me your number too then. In case you wind up separate somehow.
Unnecessary.
Do I already have it? Because I think I do. Huh?
You already have it.
Yeah! We know Batman. Flashback?
We just covered that for some reason the microphone seems to be extra sensitive.
Oh, yeah, okay, my bad.
Don't need to be yelling.
I already have it? Wait a minute.
You haven't touched the gain, have you?
No. Then that means... Oh! Ah!
Ah, hey!
Why?
Smack.
Why are we all embarrassed, though? You were the strange number that I've been texting. The one I message nearly every night.
Yes, that's correct.
Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? More so, why were you so creepy over the phone? You scared the living daylights out of me.
I apologize. I didn't mean to. Truly, I tried my best. I tried best as I could not to come off as malicious.
Okay. So sir, you need to maybe revisit some of your phone socializing skills.
But I see it didn't work. I'm just not good when it comes to cellular communication.
Cellular communication? Okay, boomer. Like, oh gosh.
Perhaps I should explain a bit more of why I'm even here. You see, back when the gang activity first began to pick up again in Blackwood, your uncle assigned me the task of looking out for you. I was to make sure you were kept safe from all this. Of course, I accepted this task. I made sure you were never involved in any of this. Until now, that is.
Wait. Why were you stalking me? I mean, technically he was, but it wasn't like stalking.
I mean, also, he established as the mystery number that he was watching us.
You're right. So I feel like why is probably the better choice. But also, he said that my parents were with him. So does he still have my parents?
Well, he knew where they were.
Well, that's true.
He did specifically say they are not directly with him.
Yeah. I'll say why. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Why?
Why? Because you and your family are important to Cross. So he wanted to protect you.
But what about you?
Me?
Why did you accept? You don't even know me.
I know enough.
Well, we did text.
To know you are someone worth protecting.
Aww.
And I'm glad I was able to meet you finally.
Aww.
It also makes sense of why, if they had ever met, she wouldn't remember. It's because if they would have met, she would have been a baby.
True. Yeah. Because he's my parents' age. I think. Pretty sure.
Ish.
Yeah. I don't know if he's supposed to be younger, like slightly younger, or slightly older. I don't know. But, cool. At least now we know.
Even if these are not the best circumstances.
Wait. If you're with Rowan, and you're also the mystery number, that means you know where my parents are. That's what I was saying. And that they're okay.
That's right. Let me continue explaining. You see, keeping you safe within the city wasn't my only mission. I was also tasked with bringing you out of the city should things go awry. And well, that happened. And I was instructed that if something like that should happen, I was to take you and your family out of Blackwood and bring you somewhere safer. However, what nobody told me was you were staying with Crowan.
Wow.
I came to pick you and your parents, but you weren't there.
Huh. Okay.
I never got news that there was a rumor of a murderer in Blackwood, so I had no reason to believe you might be staying somewhere else.
So that's why they sent me to live with my aunt and uncle in the safe house, was because they thought that it was a Parliament member.
House.
Huh?
Or because it's a safe house.
Well, yeah, but I'm assuming they thought that... Because remember at the very beginning, they were like, oh, we think that you're a target, and we were both like, oh, I wonder if they're killing, like, teenage girls or something.
I didn't.
And then over time... I immediately started to try to profile them, but then over time I was like, the killing is so sporadic, it doesn't make sense.
Because
so then why were they so concerned?
Mentioned that our uncle was killed, and our uncle is pretty much the opposite of a teenage girl.
Right, but then I was then I was like, why are they so concerned that Mary was the target? But I see if they thought it was not a random serial killer, but instead gang activity, then they were like, oh, we gotta protect Mary from the Parliament.
Our mom looks a lot older than in our memory.
Mm-hmm, because of her eyes?
Yeah.
Maybe she's just really stressed. Not getting a lot of sleep.
Yeah, maybe. Well, to be fair, also, our dad has a lot more gray than he does in most of our either dreams or flashbacks.
Yeah. Well, it is a dream and a flashback, so, you know, it's kind of prettied, I guess. You read this, yeah?
Yeah. Your parents only told me that once I arrived there. So yeah, I'm getting the feeling he's probably younger than our parents. It's a really cool pose for him, though.
Okay.
I like to look at the art.
It is really good art. I like that he doesn't wear an eye patch or anything. He just has his scar on his eye.
But by that point, I was already in a very dangerous position. The Parliament was clearly on high guard. So yeah, I wonder if the murders re-instigated a gang war.
Because they thought each side thought it was the other person? Possibly. But then that also makes sense why the police aren't taking the murders as, like, serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the police are probably...
paid. 100% probably paid.
Yeah. If I moved around too much, I'd risk jeopardizing everything. There wasn't enough time and too much risk involved in going to get you. So I left with your parents. And we couldn't come back until we could be absolutely sure it was safe to take you away too. But if Crowan really did see a Parliament car pass us by, then perhaps it still wasn't safe enough.
Then where are they now? Why didn't I ever hear from them?
We didn't want the Parliament potentially catching on to us.
Which is good, because if our theory is correct and it is Twyla, then yeah, we might have accidentally...
Well, it also explains at the end of Twyla's Bad End, where she's like, Crowan? You know where Crowan is?
Oh.
And then when she showed up at our house, she was like, I finally found you.
Right.
Her and Crowan are the inheritors of their two
rival
crime
gang.
families.
Oh. They should get together, but not really because Twyla's a jerk. I'm just saying I wouldn't have been opposed to that subplot. Enemies to lovers. Stars crossed. Romeo and Juliet.
You want to do West Side Story with Crowan and Twyla?
Not really, because Twyla's a jerk. I'm just saying it had potential. Okay.
And we're afraid they may be able to track your wait. It feels like there's a word missing.
And we're afraid they may be able to track your parents' phones? I think it's the word, maybe, that's starting you off.
Maybe. And we're afraid that maybe they may be able to track your parents' phones. So I confiscated them. My phone has been modified to be untraceable, and it was why I was able to keep in contact with you.
Oh.
But the same couldn't be done for your parents. I apologize for that.
I mean, technically, you could have just handed them the phone.
Is it an intensive process, or could you not just give her parents new phones?
That, or literally just be like, hey, proof of life, here, talk to Mary. And then my dad, obviously, comes on the phone and is like, hey, Mary, I'm alive.
Well,
so is your
he
mom.
always goes through text, because text is slightly less traceable.
I thought he was trying to be, like, ambiguous. Like, secretive, you know?
I mean, yeah,
more
but...
anonymous.
I mean, with a cell... When you're doing talk, you can pinpoint cell towers.
Really? Like, why? Because it's longer? It's a longer process?
It's a whole...
But that's okay, you don't have to explain.
I might even be
remembering
things. But my point is that you could have your mom text something only your mom would know.
That's true. That's true. Okay, that's true.
But believe me when I say that it was very hard for them not to contact you. It was the only way to ensure you were kept safest you could be kept.
I see.
Then again, with the way that he always phrased it, that he knows where they are, he probably isn't in direct contact with them.
I was thinking that after I said it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because as an extra layer of safety in case he's compromised.
Right.
Are you alright?
I don't know.
The 5th time he's asked if we're alright.
Again, it's a lot to take in.
I understand. It must be very tiring to even hear about. But I hope you find happiness knowing you'll see your parents again soon.
As long as I actually do. I'm so scared that I'm gonna get there and they're not gonna be alive. Really?
Yes, it's why I came to collect you after all. It's why we're heading out this way. But perhaps we would be a lot closer to them had the car not crashed.
Right.
Even if Rowan does appear a bit frantic right now, I request that you not be mad at him. He wasn't even supposed to be with us, truthfully. But he wanted to come and see for himself that you got there safely.
Aww.
And I'm sure he still wants to see that too. Even if he's not beside us right now.
Really?
Really. Got a cover for the young master.
He wishes he could be here. He sends his regards. Most of the walk after that was silent and awkward. Oh, was I supposed to talk in this situation? Processing it was a huge thing to take on already. I had tried messaging Crowan, but we didn't hear anything back. I didn't really expect to, but it was worth a shot. I swear, if Crowan went and got his butt captured, I am not going to be happy with him. Come back here! And they're like, okay, reverse. You're mine now. I did wonder where he ended up, though. I haven't seen a trace of him in the forest trail since all the time we've been walking. All the time we've been walking. He's in the car! He's in the car.
Are you alright?
Huh?
You're slowing down.
Oh, sorry. I'm very tired. How long have we been walking for?
Can't say for certain. I didn't check the time when we started walking. Would you like me to carry you in again?
No. That's okay. You really don't have to. I hope we can get there soon. It's still plenty dark out.
Indeed it is. But I would not be surprised if the sun started to rise again.
We've been walking throughout the night? That's intense. Really?
I was hoping we'd be there by daybreak. Maybe if we still had the car.
Yeah, Crowan.
Wait.
What? He stopped me.
Do you hear that?
I did. What is it? We turned behind us. There was a car slowly driving in our direction. It was still a bit away from us, but it would catch up to us soon.
I'm going to wave them down. See if they can give us a ride. Stay behind me. Really? You're not worried that it's possibly,
the bad guys. That was my first thought when there was a car on the screen. I was like, oh no, they're back. I took a step back, and I noticed.
I guess that's why he's not worried.
How were we saying we were going to pronounce his name?
Ovidius?
Ovidius reaching into the side of his jacket.
Or Vidius?
He was carrying a weapon on him. I silently prayed to myself he wouldn't have to use it. The car slowly rolled to a halt beside us. The window rolled down. Who do you think it's going to be? Random or someone we know?
Probably someone we know.
I'm like, is it going to be Reginald?
Reginald. Could be Twilight.
It could be Croy. Maybe he went and got a car. I felt a bit more relaxed when I saw the driver behind the wheel. Oh.
Someone you don't know.
It's suspicious. A real catch. I don't know. He was an elderly fellow with plenty of wrinkles. He looked so old, in fact, I didn't know if he should even be driving. On his head, he wore a mesh cap. It had a picture of a trout on it. And from the little I could see of his outfit, it looked like he was wearing some kind of old overalls. Even though I felt more at ease... I forgot how to say it! Learn to speak? Is that what you said? I know how to speak. I just suck at names.
Yes, but
what's his name?
Ovidius.
Ovidius.
It's what
did
my
not
guess is.
Shift from his tense and serious state at all. He bowed over the side of the vehicle and talked to the driver through the window.
If it's a real name, it's one I've never heard.
I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but after a few moments, I heard the old man laugh, and Ovidius turned to me and told me it was all right to get in the car. So I climbed into the back seat and buckled myself in. And then we were off. This looks familiar. Thank you again, sir.
Ain't no problem. Was heading that way anyways. Frankly, I'm just surprised you guys were walking. Ain't ever seen nobody on this old path. Perhaps it ain't as well kept secret as I thought.
Well, we didn't really have a choice. Our car kind of crashed.
Yeah!
Okay.
So were you bozos that had the car wrecked back there? I was wondering where the passengers went. Yes, that's correct. We swerved trying to avoid a deer. That's why you gotta keep your eyes and ears peeled in these woods. I thought, though I suppose it's a bit too late to tell you that. Anyways, what business you all have in Greenbark?
Greenbark? Ovidius shot me a look. Oh, right. We're, going for a competition. Visiting family, a wedding. Shoot. Okay, if he's from here, if I say family, I'll feel like he'll ask me who. Because he's like, oh, I might know him, right?
Yeah.
But if I say a wedding, same thing. And if I say a competition, then he'll probably ask me what kind of competition. So either way, Mary's going to have to lie, in which she sucks at.
Visiting family is the most true.
I guess. That's true.
So it would involve the least amount of lying on Mary's part.
Okay. I'll say visiting family. But I feel like he's going to say who, and then I'm not going to know who to say.
Any special occasion?
No, just visiting.
Well, it's always nice to see a family getting together.
Okay, maybe the city's too big. I was thinking it was a small city.
Most people take that for granted nowadays, but I tell you what. So, you two a family too?
Well...
Not exactly. I'm just a close friend. Doing a favor. Oh, I see. Hope they're paying you enough to be a chauffeur, yeah. After crashing a car. Heh. I doubt I deserve much pay. But enough about us. What are you passing through Game Bar for? I was hoping you'd ask. See, me and my fishing buddies do this trip every other weekend. Even though I don't live too close, but this shortcut helps me to make it every time. I'm usually the last to arrive, but not by much. We rent out a boat and...
The nice man continued to tell us about his fishing trips all the way to Greenbark.
Yeah, just get the old guy talking.
Yeah.
He'll just keep talking.
Yeah. It's like when substitute teachers come in, you know, and you're like, tell me about your life. And then it sounded like he was really excited to be able to talk about it. I liked hearing about the fun times he shares with his friends. The sun began to rise right as we began to pull out of the forest. And once we were in Greenbark, Ovidius told the man to let us off at the corner of the sidewalk. I never did learn his name, but I made sure to thank him again for the lift.
Lucky break for us. But let's not push it.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Ovidius? Oh no. Can we get breakfast first?
Mary, we need to keep going.
I'm sorry. I'm really not feeling well.
Are you alright?
Yeah, it's just I was cursed. This really weird thing is going on. It's a lot, you know? And I think it's all catching up to me. All the walking we've been doing.
We really shouldn't stop moving.
You're right. I understand.
Come on.
Huh?
We'll get you something to eat.
Oh, what a nice guy.
We'll just have to be quick.
I swear, though, if this is what gets us killed or something. For, like, a breakfast sandwich or something. Some pancakes.
It's hard to guard someone for most of their life and not feel somewhat attached to them.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Let's go.
Let's go get some waffles. Ovidius tried to look for somewhere that may be open. The closest thing we could find was one of those chain diners that prides itself on pancakes and other breakfast foods.
IHOP or Denny's.
Yeah. Hopefully an IHOP.
I think I prefer Denny's.
Really? Well, that's because you don't get pancakes, right?
Nah,
you get
usually
meat and eggs and stuff. If I'm gonna do breakfast, I'm doing waffles and hash browns. I don't really eat breakfast often, though. I'm more of a lunch dinner kind of a gal.
Though I guess I do like IHOP's, but the berry syrup
is good. They have a lot of syrups. Anyway, not sponsored. They seem to be, could be though. They seem to be the only place open anyhow. Luckily, they weren't packed at all, so we were seated right away. I was happy about that. It totally is IHOP, look!
Oh. And please be quick. The girl is practically dying over here.
Okay, calm down. Let's not scare the waitstaff. Ovidius shrugged off his coat and then tossed it onto the open seat beside him, before taking his seat across from me. Gotta get some waffles. You didn't have to do that. Rush the waitstaff. Look at how tiny Mary looks here.
Mary's always
She's so small. It's not that dire.
Twyla's tiny, and Mary's smaller than Twyla.
Her feet don't even touch the ground.
You're feeling unwell. I'm sure they can see that.
You also shouldn't toss your coat like that. It's expensive, isn't it? And I think there's a gun in there. It'll wrinkle easily like that.
Well, if it'll wrinkle so easily, then maybe it shouldn't cost so much.
You think that?
Yeah, I do. Why is expensive stuff the type that ruins so easily?
That's a good point.
You should get what you paid for. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess I would.
You alright?
Can I ask you about, can you tell me...
Fire department.
What? Huh? Oh, Vidius quickly scanned the dining room and everyone in it.
I work for the fire department.
Oh! I was also confused.
And you're curious about that, right?
Oh! Yeah! Can you tell me about, the fire department?
To an extent.
There's gonna be so many, and then the fire truck.
What do you want to know?
Oh, how long have you been a fireman? Have you always wanted to be a fireman? Are you good at being a fireman? Dang, so many questions. How long have you been? Have you always wanted to be a fireman? I feel like have you always wanted to be a fireman is kind of a silly question because I don't think that 5-year-olds are sitting there being like, when I grow up, I want to be a mafia member. Maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
Probably, but not fully understanding the
concept of a mafia member.
I mean, because Brandon
I'm great at hiding dead bodies. Jimmy. How long have you been a fireman? Are you good at being a fireman? What do you think? How long, or are you good?
I feel like typically when you start a conversation, you start with how long.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe then we could get a better understanding of his relationship with my uncle.
Uh-huh.
So let's do that.
I don't think I could say for certain. It's almost hard to remember a time when I wasn't in this line of work.
Dang.
Is that sad? If I had to guess, I would say it's been at least 10 years.
Really? That's a long time.
Yeah. It's a long time.
When I think back to when I first received that text message, from such a mysterious number, all of the potential candidates it could have been, I never would have imagined that it would lead to something like this happening.
Are you upset?
No. I mean, I'm glad that it was actually an ally. After all, I mean, how could I be upset with someone who's done so much for me? Someone who's even risked their life for me and yet doesn't know me at all.
I wouldn't say I don't know you. I mean, not anymore. We messaged one another almost every night, didn't we? Even though it might not have been much. I feel like I learned a lot about you. Besides, even though you didn't know me in return, you were always coming back to me. Or looking to me when you were in trouble. I know that you're a bright girl, even if you don't think so.
Huh.
And bright enough to ask for help when you need it. And that's something that can't be said about a lot of people.
I want him to be my uncle! Gosh, he seems so cool. Nice. For a mafia guy. It's like that one, like, in a show, that one character who's, like, really into shady stuff, but great with kids. And you're just like, oh, man. You're lovable, even though you're, like, you murder people.
Maybe if I had been more like you, I wouldn't be in this position I am now. Oh, but no, don't take that the wrong way. I'm here anyways. And if I got to be here anyways, I'm glad it's with someone like you.
Aww. Thank you. If I may, can I ask one more thing?
Of course.
It's about the fire department. It's about my uncle. It's about my uncle and the fire department. Let's do that one. It's 2 for 1. Why wouldn't you? Now I'm wondering if it's a trap. No, let's do that one. 2 for 1.
Yes, go ahead.
My uncle and the fire department. You knew my uncle. You said you worked right besides him, right?
Yes, I did.
My uncle... Was he a good person? He went silent for a moment. That's probably gotta be kind of hard, right? Because, like... Organized crime... anything in the world isn't black and white. Like, even... I don't know if I...
No.
If you know anything about some of the, like, most terrible people in the world, especially if you study, like, psychology or something like that, and you start to understand why, like, where those behaviors come from, it can get kind of hard to, like, judge people, you know?
Also, it's probably a little weird talking about a dead person.
True. And it was
knew.
his boss, who I would imagine he was super close with.
Listen, Mary. Your uncle... I owe my life to your uncle. And I'm sure many others do too. But just because I'm loyal to him doesn't mean that he was exactly a good person either. Your uncle did a lot for me and for the rest of the fire department. But there's no such thing as a good firefighter. I guess I didn't realize how that sound out loud.
Someone walking past is just like, I mean, he said he's a firefighter, so I guess I can't judge him for saying that, but what the heck, man? Thank you, Ovidius, for everything you've been doing for us. I don't know if Crone ever tells you, but I really thank you so much.
Of course.
Crone probably doesn't, because I feel like Crone really has that, like, angsty, I'm the young master, bleh, who's now in charge vibe going on. Might be a little resentful, too, since his dad died.
There's no one else I'd rather do it for.
I felt so much better after I was fed. Physically better, but I think the emotional toll was also a bit easier to digest.
Come on, let's head out. Once we get past this point, we should be in the clear.
Since we were no longer had our own vehicle, Ovidius and I had to find a bus stop. We'd have to take the bus after the bus. We'd have to take bus after bus until we could make a path wherever it was we were supposed to be going. That's okay, though. I was used to riding on a bus. And you're in public, so if anything does happen, other people will see. What's that noise? Are we looking at something? You look tired.
Nah. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
We'll be on this bus for a while. You can take a nap if you'd like.
That doesn't seem safe.
That's what I always say. Napping on public transportation seems sketchy. I know it doesn't say, no, it's sketchy. What if somebody robs you in your sleep, or you miss your bus stop?
The only person who could rob you would be someone who's sitting right next to you.
Exactly, and you're
In
asleep
which
and you
case
don't know.
Then it's also, and they would have to be they'd have to work very hard at being discreet about it.
I don't trust anyone.
What if we run into trouble?
Then I'll wake you up.
Promise?
Promise.
Well, if you're going to let him fall asleep, you can't fall asleep.
Yes.
Then take this.
What is it? What is it?
I thought you might like it, but couldn't find a good time to give it to you.
Is it a book?
It's,
Is it the book?
But it might help you pass the time. When did he get this?
For me? Thank you. I don't know. Maybe it was just like in like the local bookstore or something. It was like, Mary, you would like this. That's so nice. I wish I had an uncle like him. I checked my messages with Crowan. Still nothing. I could only hope that the reason he wasn't answering was because he was being extra careful.
He explained to you it's dangerous to use your phone.
Yeah. And not because something else was going down. I started reading the book I was given. When I saw the title, How to Talk to Ghosts, I figured that it was, well, figurative. I thought that it would be some spooky story with a clever title, but to my surprise, it was written as more of an instructional guide. It's a very intense, interesting read. I'm curious as to how they got all this information. Mouth, what is wrong with us? Anyways.
This is the same.
As previously mentioned, ghosts exist on a different plane of existence. That much is obvious. Yet, they can communicate with us, despite their beings existing on a separate layer from ours. We see time and time again that their attempts to reach us. Perhaps it is because they are angry. Perhaps it is because they are lonely. Does each ghost exist on their own, or do spirits share a realm with one another, expanding and everlasting? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Or is there only purgatory, stretching for miles beyond what we can comprehend? These are the questions I cannot answer yet. For if I could, I wouldn't be here writing this now, would I? But there is a question I have been able to answer. Since ghosts can make contact with us, I often wondered, could we contact them? Sure, you've heard of psychics and mediums and whatnot, but that is only half of what I am talking about. Being born with the innate ability is a factor, of course, but I want to delve deeper than that. Despite where they may exist, they can clearly affect things in our realm. They can reach us, and like one-way glass, I know they can see us. But what if we could see them? It is not enough to hear them, I want to see them, to travel where they were. I believe that when you die, perhaps your soul can become unrestricted. But what if we could accomplish the opposite? What if a living being had the ability to unrestrict itself before death? Perhaps this sounds like crazy talk. Oh! We've got to get off the bus now. I don't think that it'll be much longer. Is this it?
Yes, this is it.
Dun dun dun. He had brought me to a white paneled house in the middle of a cutesy suburban neighborhood. in a city much, much further than from Blackwood than I would have liked to think. Are we supposed to stay here forever?
No, not forever. Just for a while. Until we can get things under control. Aren't you happy? Your parents are safe, and you'll be with them again.
I know, but I like Blackwood and Crowan.
Don't worry about Crowan. Don't worry about Blackwood. Both of those, they're my job. And I've never been bad at my job before. I'm going to take care of it. I'm sure you'll be back in Blackwood before you know it.
Is this the end?
Mm-hmm.
I approached the front door of the house. My parents, who had been missing for so long.
I feel like it'd be weird for it to be the end
Right.
since we just got the ability to talk to ghosts.
They're really right behind this door. Then
If you want.
this is where we're gonna stop for today. Cliffhanger. What? Why you shake your head? Why?
Oh, it's just I worry.
I know, but I can't continue. I don't want to continue and then stop like in a really weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if she opens the door and they're dead or gone or I don't know, being held hostage. But then what if she opens the door, they're there, and then it's like, yay. We'll find out next time. Place your bets now. What do you think it's gonna be? Is there only gonna be like 5 minutes left in the game and we stopped before we should have? Or is there a lot more to this story?
Also, what do we do in that situation?
I don't know. We'll figure it out in the future. That's future Kendra's problem, not mine. Anyway, that is where we're ending today's stream. I hope you guys are enjoying Cemetery Mary. I am trying not to think about the fact that it's coming to an end, but it is coming to an end. And I know we're just gonna go play another game by Arcade Kitten. So I'm trying not to get sad about it, but I have grown very attached to our girl.
Like I said, we'll probably play the
I know.
the prequel.
I know, but it's gonna be different. Our girl, Mary. Anyway, if you guys enjoy watching Dustin and I, you can always come back and check us out. We another stream. We stream. What's today? Friday. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My week's all out of whack. And sometimes Sunday nights. Not sure about this Sunday because we do have family visiting, but they might be leaving by then. I don't know. Keep an eye out for that. We also have our YouTube channel where we play games over there that we don't stream. So if you're curious about that, you can hop on over there. I believe there's a link somewhere on our page. We also have a TikTok where I post clips, things that I think are funny, things that I think are scary, whatever. If you want just like a little short video to watch, test it out, you can hop over there. And we have an Instagram, though I have not been posting on there. Feel free, though, to follow it if you want. I think that's everything. Yeah. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow, do whatever you feel like doing. We will appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.